Hello. Today we have a special video that we're making that I think it's going to change people's perspective, and we're doing it all in the same time that we're doing a long distance Pulsor session to a very good friend of mine. So today what we're going to be talking about is very personal, very vulnerable on my side, but I think the experience that I'm going through will help a lot of people and changes people's perspective of living their lives. So, roll the intro. If this is the first time that you see me, my name is Eric Seneschal. I am here working for RejuvenateHopePulsor. This is the energy balancing company that I own, and I'm working with Pulsors. And as I said previously, you're going to be seeing me. I'm doing a Pulsor session right now at a long distance to a great friend of mine, somebody that I know for over 28 years now. So you guys are going to be able to see what happens during a long distance energy balancing with the pulsars, but also the message I'm going to be bringing to you all. Like I said earlier, it's very vulnerable on our side of my wife and I. An experience that has been difficult, but in the same time very inspiring, and forcing us to get more and more into the fifth dimension and letting go of the third dimension. And it has been a big learning curve emotionally and life experience also. But it's okay because it's helping us to move forward in the right direction. And the angels has been with us every step of the way. They've been showing themselves over and over again, sometimes 4, 5, 6 times a day, to help us, to teach us, and to encourage us that we are on the right track on what has been going on. And today, this is what I'm going to be talking about. I already have my wife's permission to talk about this. I'm not going to go too much in specific. I will for our side, my wife and I, but not on the opposite side. But there will be some stories, and there will be some stuff that you might relate, and you might start reflecting it in a different angle in your own personal life situation. So let's begin with that. And I have changed the camera angle just to protect the identity of the person, and also the different protocol that I'm using on this person with the pulsar, where to use them, etc. Just because it's only for practitioners, right? Same thing with the sock that I have in my hand right now. There's a bunch of pulsars in there, but obviously to protect the techniques, because they're very expensive. All right, so let's begin with this whole story. So we've been going through, some people may call it on their side a war. The angels have told me that it is not a war, it is a life lesson, a karma that needs to be fixed. This is our 4th or 5th time. My wife was telling me that we're going through this. And as I wrote in my book many times, not life continues, but lesson continue until lesson learned. The previous 4 times that we went through this situation, which I will explain in a minute, literally we went through the exact same situation, which is crazy, in different jobs that my wife was in, that she was forced to get out, to leave her job. And all 4 times were 98% the same cause. And it is not on her side. It is on the management and on the corporation side. The previous time we were going through it, we were at the level of hiring a lawyer to move forward to sue them. And that's where we actually gave up and we said, no, we don't want to get into that kind of energy. We don't want to move into that. We don't want to put that stress on ourselves. And so we backed out and we just moved on with our life. And my wife started a new job, really good job. She was very appreciated. And all the managers absolutely loved her. She was getting along with everybody and everybody was respecting her until her boss completely discriminate her and starting to be very foxy, as we could say, saying all the right words but doing all the wrong actions. We could say that way. And that's in the provincial level type of work that she's been doing. It's not just a personal. Previously was with big corporation insurance companies. Now she's working provincially with the same issue again, which is a continuous problem that's getting worse and worse all over Canada and US, I'm sure, that people are not knowing the effect of it. So basically, the previous jobs that she had, my wife used to be celiac. So that's mean you cannot eat any gluten. And there was a lot of, it was not a huge problem, but it was becoming a bigger problem at her other jobs that didn't want to accommodate her in the in the food department at her work, and every time there was parties and stuff like that, they were not accommodating her, and they were not. So she was invited, but it was completely pointless to go with the crew that she works with for supper and little events like that. And anyways, we were able to help her with that. We were able to teach and make them understand in the corporation itself, the insurance corporation, to understand and learn how there's a lot of people that were put aside because not only my wife was celiac, but there was other employees, but nobody was saying anything. So before she left, they were able to accommodate this health problem to all the employees that had the same issue as my wife. So because of her, they were able to, all the other people didn't feel left out. But also that part is actually fixed with my wife now. She's feeling great. She doesn't have she's not celiac anymore. But the next tackle issue that we're working on is she also had a chemical sensitivity. So anything that has a scent, like perfume, deodorant, hair products, when you put bounce with your clothes when it's being dried in the dry machine, any type like plugins, Febreze, all those things, those are made out of chemical, and those chemicals are very, very bad for your health, for everybody's health. It has been proven actually scientifically. I don't have the name of the doctors on top of my head there, but they were explaining how it actually slows down the brain function, and it really demonizes the person's mentality, and has a big effect on just a regular people to be basically mentally slower. It's purposely made that way, but I'm not going to get into all those conspiracy and all that. So coming back to my wife's situation with her work, because of her sensitivity, she working in a provincial level, there are some signs everywhere in the building saying that it has to be scent-free. And I will not go too much in detail, but I'm just going to say she is working in a hospital. So at a hospital, you should have scent-free environment. Excuse me, I do have a little cold, so I apologize for my throat there. It's not a cold actually, it's a Pulsor detox. I gave myself a really, really strong Pulsor session there a few days ago, and my throat is detoxing from all that. Well, exactly what I'm talking about right now. Because emotionally it all comes and get me right here. Because it has not been easy what we've been going through. But doors are opening. So, I won't go more in detail than that, but she's working in the hospital, and hospitals are supposed to be scent-free environment, which they're not. And there are a lot of employees, nurses, etc. that works there that are also have chemical scent sensitivity also. And some of them are actually pretty bad, getting migraine, or that it triggered their asthma. There's a lot of different things. Some people actually get impaired, similar to be on drugs. So the same feeling as that. Can't focus, brain fog, really feel dizziness, can't even drive or anything like that. So there's many different symptoms that comes with that. But here in Canada, especially when you're working for the government, when there are health issues, they are supposed to accommodate you. And in my wife's case, they said, yes, we will accommodate you, but they have done absolutely nothing. After a year of trying to get them to do what needs to be done through human resource, through the union, now we're at the level of the human rights, and we are in contact with some lawyers, so we're going back in that zone again. Even though we have doctor's notes from our personal family doctor, we also have, she went through tests through a specialist, chemical sensitivity. They've done some tests on her, and she was she was diagnosed with that. And plus having another group of people working with us outside of the system, or outside the hospital, I should say, system, that are helping people with the same disability to help her. So we've been going through a lot of that kind of stuff. That's just a bigger image of what is going on. So the whole part that I want to come with at this point is that yesterday morning I was doing a meditation, and the previous day my wife had received an email, very disrespectful email from, if I'm not mistaken, it was from the union representative. I think it was a union representative, and I know the human resource was also involved in that. And everybody that has been going through the meetings to help my wife's case, well, help. I say that very lightly. Really triggered us to almost think of getting out of that. And it was giving panic attacks again to my wife, because like I said, this is the 5th time that we're going through this, and it's been very difficult. And I kept staying positive and encouraging my wife, and the angels has been very good to encourage us and me being able to say the right things for my wife to persevere and keep going through, because it is not right what they're doing. It is law manipulation. Even though it's black on white, they keep diverting it, and they don't want to tackle that. And so because it was such a big trigger, yesterday I got really mad, or not yesterday, the day before, sorry, from that email. We got really lucky. Like I said, we got support outside the system, and that person specifically, which I can't say her name, an amazing woman. She understands 100%. She knows exactly what she has. She has a friend that has the same situation, so she knows exactly what my wife is going through, and she knows all the trick of the trade, and she has a lot of good connections. So we got somebody really good on our side, and she was able to reply to that polite, nasty email, if I could say that way, putting them down straight again from what they were saying, because it was completely bogus. What they were saying. So yesterday morning when I was meditating, I was like, all right, we're back at a fork. What direction do we take? Do we keep pursuing this? Do we step out? And since this is the 5th time we're going through this, and like I said earlier, lesson continue till lesson learn, right? So I'm like, okay, what's the lesson to this? There's been many different lessons through this to help our growth as a human being, as a soul, that we've done so far. But I think the one we just got this time really was the bullseye. And to my wife's side, what the angels were saying is that she needs to feel valued, and she needs to work on that. I don't know if you guys ever read like the 5 Love Languages book. I did a small representation on that book. If you are part of the Facebook group page, explaining a little bit what that book is, which everybody should read. Because you will fall in love sometime in your life, and you will have human beings around you somewhere, sometime in your life. Therefore, you need to read that book. So I'm not going to go into that. If you want to check it out, go check that video. I'll try to put a link like right here. So I was explaining to my wife what the angels were showing me during that meditation, and they were explaining to us like the 5 love languages is like the first layer of love languages that's very important for the human being. And there is also like a second layer, which is much deeper, of what human beings need in their life. And I don't know what all 5 are, not yet. But one of them is valued, which is a huge trigger for my wife. And myself actually too. It's very, very important for me. And that's one of the reasons why I've been blessed to have a wife that is, we both have that same value on that part. So again, not to go too much in details, but my wife has been her whole life, like if you think of a glass of water, the more water there's in it, the fuller the glass is, therefore the better it is. Well, for my wife, her feeling valued glass was empty. And that's from way back when she was a child. So it goes way, 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 way back. And that's from her environment, from at school, for people, because the problems that she had that we were able to fix, they were there when she was a kid. So at school, there was many different things that she could not perform physically, or there was something that couldn't work because of those problems that she had. Therefore, that she was being laughed at, or she was not felt valued. There would be at school, friends, family, working environment, etc. Even though she was pushing her best and she was literally pushing to the max. And that's why she's such a determined woman, and that's why she's so strong, and that's why all the stuff that I love so much about her. Now that most of those problems are fixed, there's one more to be fixed that we're working on. It became that her feeling valued from her environment glass was empty. She is getting it filled up from me, but she needs more than just that because she's been starving for so long. It's like not drinking water for like 2 days or 2.5 days. Drinking one glass of water won't be enough. You're gonna drink a full freaking pitcher, right? And then like half an hour after that, you're gonna drink one more big pitcher, just because your body has been starving from it. So it's a similar situation that she's been going through, and we didn't know that. So the spiritual side of all this, when the angel came to see me during my meditation, they were explaining that part to me so I can teach her. And now that we know that, her perspective of what's going on in her life, her perspective towards other people, and why some of them, I don't want to use the word hate, but did dislike them so strongly, and why some other people she loved so much, and why she was seeking all the time to have that valued feeling, even in the wrong places, because she was starving so much. Again, if you're starving from water, you're so thirsty, if you see a puddle of mud, you will drink that water even though it's not clean. So it was a similar situation. She was still seeking outside of places where it's not good for her to get that. Now that we know that, we can avoid and try to move forward and actually attract what she needs, which we've been doing a lot. The law of attraction is real. The universe does work with us. And we've been blessed many ways, different times. It is, it's almost like magic. That was one of the first things that was very important that we noticed. Also, she kind of got frustrated at me. Well, not at me necessarily, but at the situation. The pulsars are amazing. They are just freaking amazing. I don't cure anything, but we help the body to be able to regenerate itself, to be able to heal itself. So this whole celiac situation, the pulsar has a big part of that. There's also a big part that my wife was working on herself subconsciously with that, which also was a big impact. And she got mad at me because we were not able. We've been working on for over a year with the pulsars to try to fix that sensitivity. Every time she gets exposed, it works almost immediately on her to bring her back to a normal state. But we were not able to fix the actual problem. We got her better, but not fixing it. And she was getting discouraged about it. And I was explaining to her, and the angel came to me. I got goosebumps right now because I know the angels are with me again here. That's the message for you all. So the pulsar works at different layers. So most people think of the physical part of it, which it does to a certain level. It really does. But it also does a lot deeper than that in different stuff. And I have some customers that had noticed that in the surrounding environment change after pulsar session. Some people got closer, some people got further away, doors open. Some of the projects they've been working on for years, just boom, door starts to open and it starts moving forward. Things like that start to happen. Others, it was towards karma, that it just, whatever they were doing, they were still bringing that same type of people in around them over and over again, which they were just energy vampires or etc., stuff like that. And they were having a hard time. And now, boom, those people start getting away from them and start to attract good people with good heart that actually cares and values them. So there's a lot of layers going through the pulsars, or working with the pulsars, I should say. And when I was explaining that to my wife when we were working, I don't do clairvoyance. Even though yesterday there was another customer that was asking me stuff about clairvoyance, not clairvoyance, but some of the gifts. I don't want to say gift, I'm just a tool being used, but to talk to the angels to get some information basically. And not to get too much into that because I don't want to bring down anybody else that does that kind of work. But for me, I work with angels, and from my own personal experience, when you work with angels, if the information will bring you good, they will give it to you. If the information will bring your ego up, they won't. If the information will change your track of life, they won't. So when we come here on earth, we have a blueprint, as they call it. And just like a house, when you have a blueprint, you got the bones of the house, where the wall's going to be, where the door's going to be, the plumbing, the electricity, blah, blah, blah. Your life is a similar situation. So when you come here, you already have a designated day that you arrive. And that designated day is not just when you pop out and come into this world. There's a lot more attached to that. The moon energy, the earth energy, the galaxy's energy, the planets. All that is in different energy level, and it's all that's going to decide what, if you're going to be a Scorpion, or if you're going to be a Gemini, if you're going to be, there's a lot of stuff going to that, which is going to determine what kind of personality you have. It's going to determine what kind of person you're going to be. It's going to determine, anyways, I don't want to go too much into detail with that, but basically you will have your blueprint of your life and stuff you need to go through. So you decided, you signed the contract, I'm going to come here on earth, I'm going to learn X, Y, Z, and then I'm going to leave this day. So we do have free will to a certain extent of deciding what you're going to be doing during that time, how long you're going to be doing it. Some people come here and learn one lesson, and other people come here and learn like 30 lessons. And that's just because you don't want to come on earth 30 times. You just want to come on earth once. Well, you're going to be more than once, but you catch my drift. So as I was saying to my wife, from the angels, I can't take credit for that. They were explaining that what we've been going through for the 4th time, is part of one lesson that you need to learn. And we kept thinking in the 3rd dimension that what am I doing wrong? What's wrong with me? Why are those people doing this to me? Why is nobody respecting me? Even though the law is there and they're not applying it, even though we're showing it to them and they're not doing it, why? And there must be something wrong with me. I must be bringing this to my life. I must be blah, blah, blah. So the whole self-pity situation. That's thinking the 3rd dimension. When I spoke to the angels, that was about a month ago, they were telling me that I am completely off track when I was thinking of that. They were saying that it was on a spiritual side, her life lesson. It was more on the 5th dimension energetic side, her lesson. It just happens that it's back the same thing, because if it wouldn't be, she wouldn't try to grow and learn in the right direction. So they have the same situation happening one more time. The other 3rd time previously, we did the right thing of quitting. It would have been an endless battle, but each time it was a stepping stone, and we grew, and we've learned the next step for what's coming next. So each time that we went through it, the first time we did this much and we learned this much. The second time we learned this much and we grew this much. But we needed that to be able to do this. And then the 3rd time we did this much, because we applied the 1st and the 2nd into the 3rd. So that's what we've been doing. And now this is the 4th time we're going through this, and we're going all the way this time. The angel kept telling me we gotta go all the way, and every time we think of quitting. Last week we were thinking of quitting, and during that day, I'm not kidding, we saw 11 hours, 11 minutes, 2 hours and 22 minutes, 3 hours and 33 minutes, 4 hours and 44 minutes, 5 hours and 55 minutes, 1 minute and 11 seconds, all in the same day. Debbie was on her side, I was on my side. When we saw each other at night, I saw this. So same thing with me. So that was just the proof of the angel telling us to keep going. You can look into it. I'm sure you can Google it. It's going to explain each one of them, what it means. Some of them it's mean the spirit guides with you. Some of them it's saying, I think it's 333. It's basically that you are protected. And there's one of them is saying that you're on the right track. There's one of them that's saying like your thoughts are in the right direction, so keep pushing. So anyways, so we saw that over and over and over again. And it was just confirming us. The angel is confirming us. Don't quit. Keep pushing. Something's good is going to come out of that. And every time when you do something, we don't do it out of despite. We're not doing this to go at war. We're not doing this to be mean and to like, oh, they disrespected her so much, so they need to pay for it. No. It feels like that sometimes, and I will agree. And that's why my voice is like this right now. That is a few times that I got really, really mad. Because I mean, I love my wife. They are attacking my wife. So as a man, I want to protect her. It's my job, right? So my masculinity, my testosterone kicks into that direction that I want them to pay for what they're doing. But after I calm down, I don't want to attract karma, first of all. And I don't want to go in that direction. And I don't want to fight. And the angels were saying the only way to win this is with love. And it's totally true. You're not going to war to fight to bring negative energy, because then you're working with the darkness. We don't want that. You want everything to be done in the light. You want everything to be done smooth and with love and with the angels. Any confrontation, the only way to go through it is by calmness. So that's what we've been working on. And we've been blessed. The angels have gave us that person, which she actually came into our life in the most weird way. And that's the work of the angels 100%. An ex-employee that Debbie used to work with back in the days, she was inspired to call Debbie to tell her, contact this number, you need help, and they're going to be able to help you. Not knowing what the situation that Debbie was going through. So it is just crazy how it happened. And then by calling there, we got this lady to start helping her, and she's amazing. She is just a blessing from the sky helping us, and she got some of the amazing connection. Anyways, I'm very, very happy and have gratitude towards her for everything that she's been doing for us. And that was a gift from the angels for us not to quit. And literally she popped in the weekend and we decide that we're not going to pursue this and we're going to quit from that and just get another job instead. That I think it was that Monday morning or Tuesday that she got that phone call from that person saying, like, it's so weird the way it happens. Going back to my story. That's how the angel works sometimes. So with the blueprint, we knew we had to go through it. And the angels are giving us what we need to do. And when you pursue something of somebody being disrespectful to you, somebody being mean to you, and you're not rebelling against, God will repay you 10 times. And it's so true. I've seen it myself. It happens to me a while ago. And this situation, I had premonition, and it's going to be something very, very similar. And it's not just doing that for my wife, but it's also for the people that are at the hospital. There are patients that have similar situation. If ever my wife has to go to the hospital to have an operation or whatever it might be, how is she going to be able to be there with all those people that have perfume and all those scented products on them? They're gonna make her so sick. It is crazy. So it's not just for her, but it's also for all the employees that are working there, all the patients that's going to be going there. So there's a lot involved into this, and I think this is why the angels have chosen us, and we have accepted on that contract to come here to clean and to help educate and help them grow and change the policies and reinforce those policies. So it's a very, very big task, I will admit it. So all this, when we work with the pulsars at different levels, it was able to bring us in our life energetically. No, we were able to attract into our life with the energy, the things and the tools and the people that we need to move forward. So yes, it has not been, we were not able by yet to fix the problem with my wife's chemical sensitivity, or multi-chemical sensitivity, that's what it is. But that is only because her blueprint is not over. Her task is not over. If we would have fixed her, well, it would not be any problem, and we weren't be able to accomplish one of the life mission that we have here on Earth. So I was explaining that to my wife, but it was able to bring those blessings into our life to help us, and to bring the right people into our life to help us to go through all of this. And that's one of the biggest mind-blowing thing that it can accomplish. There's one of my customers once that, as I was giving her a Pulsor session here on a table in person, she was asking me, like, what is Pulsor? And I just started to describe to her, like, pulsars are made out of microcrystals. It's not quartz crystals, but they are made to have specific vibration to work with your energy fields. So it works with your different chakras, it works with your aura, and then it can work on your soul, it can work on a whole bunch of stuff. And when I say work on your soul, I don't mean your soul is bad because you're part of God, which your soul is perfect. But I just mean some of the baggage that we get from past life, or even in this life, or karma, or etc. So that's what I meant. So it's like, no, that stuff I already know. What I mean is, like, what's Pulsor? What is it? What does it do? And as soon as she asked that question, it was really funny because I started having goosebumps. And I looked at her and her face got red really quickly. And I looked at her, I'm like, are you having goosebumps right now? And she says, yes. I'm like, that's the angels that are here. And she's like, is that what it is? I'm like, yeah, that's your aura that is detecting the energy of the angels, and your body physically is reacting to that energy. So, and I'm like, okay, what you guys are here for? What's the message, or what do you need to do? So, and they were telling me that the pulsars, the technology that we have here on Earth, that it has been developed, can only do barely 1/3. No, they can only detect 1/3 of what the pulsars are actually capable of doing. So they were actually accomplishing work to the human body, the human soul, the human's energy, but only 1/3 scientifically was been proven of what it's capable of doing. There's still 2/3 of the work that it's doing that we don't even know, we're not even aware of it, that it's actually accomplishing into our lives. And it was saying that it was not only helping our life here this time on this planet, but it also will clean our future lives that we're going to have in the future, and it also repair the damage that was done from past lives. And it helped us grow and being able to absorb even more, and help us to transit into the 5th dimension and to be open and alert, and growing our knowledge and awareness, that's the word, and growing our awareness of what is happening, seeing beyond the lies that we've been feed from every direction, from all those corporations and governments and blah, blah, blah. A lot of people see through some of the lies, but it's only the first layer. They don't even see the depth of how deep this goes, how deep the rabbit hole goes, I should say. So, they were saying how much the pulsars are capable of doing that. It's going to do wonders for many future lives that we're going to be having. So it is just amazing how the angels were interpreting that, and the word was just coming out of my mouth and telling her, and I was like, holy man, I'm learning so much right now. It's really weird when that happened. I have absolutely no control. It's them, 100% them. I'm literally just a speaker that sound is coming out. Like, it ain't coming from my head, I can tell you that, because there's sometimes that stuff comes out and it's not even my own vocabulary. I'm like, where's that coming from? I don't even use those words. That's when I know, like, it's coming from the angels. And I know they're here right now because I can feel the heat from them. There's a lot of stories like that you're gonna be able to read once my book is finished. And I know I've been talking about my book for quite a long time. It's been a very crazy summer. I've been very, very, very busy. So I have not had a chance too much to work on the book, and I've been very tired because I have been having some very big cases that I devote myself 100% to them, trying to help those people. So anyways, coming back to my story. So we're just giving a little side note there, pulsar-wise, to how deep it is. And I got even one customer that she says, that was actually when I was at the clinic, so that's a good 4 or 5 years ago. She only had 2 sessions with me, I think. Yeah, I think it was only 2 sessions. And the second session, she had no health issues. She was a young lady, very healthy. But she was working towards a goal, and she kept hitting walls, working, pushing, try to find ways, try to go right, go left, go a different direction, try to accomplish that task that she was trying to do. And we had that session, me and her, and we spoke, and the angel came, and she is very, very connected to, more than me. But when you're in the picture, it's kind of hard to see the picture. So we worked together, and I told her a few things, or the angels told her a few things that needed to hear. And 2 days after the session, literally, somebody that she did not know came to the door, knocked at her door. And one of the things that she was working on, which I can't go too much in detail, obviously, for her own protection there, but in her own privacy, there was something that needed to happen into her life. And she was like, you know what, this is my only way out. I need to sell this. But she did not tell anybody. She just made that decision that, like a week before, that she's like, okay, I think if I sell this and this, I'll be able to get rid of that debt, and etc. And literally somebody, that she didn't do any ads, she didn't do anything. She didn't talk to anybody yet. She was just thinking of it and planning in her head what she's going to be able, and what she's going to do, and if that would work, etc. Somebody came, knocked at her door, and says, you know what, I don't know if you're interested, but I'm doing this project right now. I know you have this and this and this, and if you are interested, I would be happy to take that away from you, purchasing it from you, taking care of it. And I will take care of all the lawyer fees. I will take care of all the transaction. I would pay you this amount of money for this. And I would be very grateful if you would be open and willing to sell these things to me. And her jaw dropped. Like, she's like, I was literally thinking of actually selling those things. And he's like, well, that's great. She's like, yeah, but how did you know I was selling that? Like, I didn't advertise anywhere. I didn't tell anybody. It's not to the eyes of anybody, so nobody would have known that. And he says, I just tried. I wanted that part, and I didn't know if you had it, but I was inspired to come here and ask, and yeah, I will take care of it. So doors opened into her life that was able to get everything back on track for her. Like I said, it literally knocked at her door. So, and that was literally 2 days after the Pulsor session. I'm not saying it's going to do that for everybody. That's her story with what happened. I've heard that so many times in different direction, jobs, husband, boyfriend, kids, issues, and it just, after a few Pulsar sessions there, boom, all the energy around them has changed. Therefore, that's what I was explaining to her, right? Like, it's like, how did that happen? How did the Pulsar make that happen? It's I don't want to say the Pulsar did that. It's just her personal energy has changed because of the Pulsar session we did. So we realigned her energy. We took out the negative thoughts, the negative energy that was around her because of her own thoughts and emotions. We removed them, therefore opened up space to have positiveness, and was able to bring out into the universe what she wanted. And the universe was like, oh yeah, we can do this and this and this and this, and there you go, it's going to be fixed. And then boom, it happened. So what you think and the words you use, you have no idea how much of an impact it has on your life. So be careful with that. And I'm working on that. I am not the guy to look up to. I am practicing that myself. So I got off track with that, with the whole Pulsar thing, but that's what I was explaining to my wife on the outside, not the physical part, but the fifth dimension side of stuff that Pulsar can do. And that's what we've been working on. It is still in progress. It is not over, but it's definitely in the right direction. And there's a lot of good things that's going to come out of all that for her and for me. And sometimes you need to look at situations in a different way. Like I said earlier, for us, if we were looking at it, they're attacking her. They're doing that to her. Come to find out, it was just the opposite. It was a situation that was put into her life for her own growth, to learn about finding the right people to value her, knowing that's a weakness of hers, so she can start working with her subconscious mind to fix that. And so it doesn't bother her 90% of the time. So if we can bring it to 20% of the time, that would be much better. And to really take over and take control of her life and her emotions, so she can grow to be a better person, a better wife, a better friend. I would say better employee, but that part's it's gonna change soon. But definitely to be a better person. So sometime in life, don't look at it as it is, but try to see the other side of it. The third dimension is being flushed away. It is happening. We don't see it in the news, but if you pay attention to what's going on in the world, you'll see it. The fifth dimension energy is taking more and more place. It's growing really fast. And the people that are very receptive, all the empaths know about it. They all know it. You can't avoid it. It is too intense for us not to feel it. But that's the direction that we're going. The new age is happening. The golden age is being flushed. The power is being flushed. The power, the ego, the destruction is at its last moves. The darkness are doing their last chess move, and they're losing. They really are. Try to look at life beyond the physical, and try to, if you can meditate, most of the time that's one of the best ways. That's how I did it, to find out what was going on with my wife's situation. Now that we hit the bullseye, it's going to help us tremendously to move forward quickly, and that's what we want, and that's what we're projecting into our universe for us. And we will be able, I have the word win in my head, but that's not what I want. We're going to be able to get to a peaceful agreement to help as much people as possible, and to make them understand and grow, so we can have a more comprehensive and a more peaceful environment and easier for everybody at the hospital and maybe higher. So we'll see how this is going to go. I don't want to go further with this. There's more information that we've got from the situation from her, what's going on, but I cannot really reveal too much just because I'll say if, but when the lawyers kicks in, there's going to be some stuff happening. So I guess I cannot release too much. But yeah, for your own personal life, how or where, when you went through a hard time, were you looking at it too much in the 3 dimension instead of 5th? What's the energy saying to you? What's the angel telling you? What's the growth you need on your side? When you ask, it will be brought to you. If you ask for help, it will be brought to you. Be open, be mind-free about it. If you got ear pods in your ears all the time, how can you listen if somebody can help you around you? You can't. You're all in your own little box. You need to talk to people. You need to connect. You need to search and do phone calls and read some books for your own personal growth to see what else is out there that can help you. We're all stuck in that little box that the government system has put us all in. People are breaking out of that box more and more. People are understanding there's more out there than what we see. Earth is hard. Earth is beautiful. Are you looking at it half empty or half full glass? There is some amazing, beautiful stuff that happens. We don't hear about it because the news are not talking about it, but it's still there. Where's you're emphasizing your energy into? If you watch the news, you only see the darkness. If you only see the darkness, you'll attract the darkness. If you attract the darkness, darkness is in your life and it sucks. Yes. If you look at the pretty stuff in life and you're appreciative of life and you're grateful of stuff that's happening in your life. So, I'm not going to go much further than that with her whole situation. You guys had a chance to see what actually happens when I do a pulsar session at a long distance. After I'm done with this, I'm going to be calling this person and let them know what I did, what's the pulsar I use, what's the formation that I've done, the protocols that I've done, and where it worked the most, because I've been paying attention to that as I was speaking, to see what's going on with her, and we'll be able to give her the assessment of what was going on for her and help her as much as possible. So if you like this information video that I just did, please share it. Please also put a thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm of YouTube. I'm not looking to be one of those kids that trying to get like 3 million clicks and stuff like that. It's not my goal at all. It is more to educate and help people. And if some of them are interested in the pulsar session, obviously I will do my best to help them for the time being. And yeah, it will be my pleasure to help more people, or try to work them in the schedule for now. Like I said, it's been quite busy this summer. But yeah, share it up, and now you know what happens when I do a pulsar session. I might do more of these because there's a few times that it happens that the angels does come during a pulsar session, even though the person's not here in person, and messages are happening. So it's kind of cool for that part. Then I just gotta be the person to translate and give the information once I'm on the phone call to let them know. But again, I have no control over that because it's the angel that decide, not me. And see what they have in store for us if the person is ready for it. If they're not, nothing's gonna happen. So I'm gonna stop blabbering here. I wish you all an amazing good day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.